I built and sold two seven-figure Amazon businesses. And after I sold those, the question was, what do I do next? And my thinking was, well, I know the law, I know Amazon selling, so why don't we sort of build something at the intersection of that? And that's how ESQgo was born back in 2018. What we do is really help clients, help sellers when they've gone to an obstacle that they can't overcome or they can't solve. The role that we sort of take on is a creative problem solver. And that's really where we shine is if you've hit some sort of obstacle that includes law, right? Whether 100% law or maybe 25% law, I think that's where we really shine. We could come in and provide some creative solutions to any problem. My name is Mario Simonian, and I'm the founding attorney of ESQgo. So I started selling on e-commerce on Amazon specifically when I was in law school. Everyone else was going out in their second year of law school, getting jobs and all that. And my thing was, no, I don't want a job, right? So I came across this video talking about how to sell on Amazon, import products from China, and go ahead and create your own brand on Amazon and sell it on there. So that's how I got started. My first product, I can't remember if it was like a 3-in-1 avocado slicer, dicer, pitter, or it was a strawberry stem remover. But it was one of those products that I brought in, and I couldn't keep up with them. So I was like, wow, this really works. And I got really maybe cocky. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring in rows of artificial grass. At the time, LA City or LA County, Los Angeles, was giving out reimbursements to any resident that would go ahead and change their sort of lawn to artificial turf. And what I realized is I couldn't even sell those rolls. It was so difficult. I remember the first one that I did, I had to get a van sort of delivered to some guy that's like an hour away. I was like, this isn't working out. So I just sort of left those. I was like, I'm going to worry about those remaining 4 or 5 rows of artificial grass later. And I remember one morning I'm drinking coffee, looking at those rolls, thinking, what could I do with it? And I was like, what if we cut it up and sort of make it into doormats? So I went to Home Depot, grabbed a few guys. I said, cut it up into, I think it was like 18 by 24 inches was the first size. Had Uline bags ordered, sort of printed labels with my color printer, put it on there, listed it on Amazon. And that was the product that I'm really proud of. I initially created that market. Now there's a whole bunch of them. But while it was a great product, while I could pat myself on the back and say that was very creative, great job, I did mess up on not getting any sort of IP protection, right? So I probably lost a million or two on not protecting with IP. So now when I got into IP, I was like, let's make sure other people don't have that issue again, don't miss that opportunity again. And that was probably one of my products that I still remember. While fond memories, it was also a great lesson. I built and sold two seven-figure Amazon businesses. And after I sold those, the question was, what do I do next? And my thinking was, well, I know the law, I know Amazon selling, so why don't we sort of build something at the intersection of that? And that's how ESQgo was born back in 2018. What we do is really help clients, help sellers when they've gone to an obstacle that they can't overcome or they can't solve. The role that we sort of take on is a creative problem solver. And that's really where we shine is if you've hit some sort of obstacle that includes law, right? Whether 100% law or maybe 25% law, I think that's where we really shine. We could come in and provide some creative solutions to any problem. So as far as the issues that we see, it really falls into sort of maybe 2 large areas, right? Number one, it's either Amazon itself, the marketplace, being an obstacle to our clients' growth. Maybe they suspended account, maybe they've destroyed their inventory and they're not reimbursing, or something in that variation of issues. The second thing is it's usually competitors. Competitors are doing things that they shouldn't to take down our clients' listings or infringing on their products and so forth. But it's either the marketplace or competitors sort of getting in the way of our clients' growth. I think most Amazon sellers, especially the 7-8 figure sellers, understand the issues that Amazon can bring. But I think what surprises them the most, even those more experienced, those more successful sellers, is how conniving, maybe is the word, competitors can be, and how the more successful you become on Amazon, the more competitors you're going to run into that may not want to play by the rules. That's probably what surprises them the most. We've had stories that sound like it's out of a mob movie where it's competitors sort of trying to or bribing Amazon employees to get accounts suspended, or it's them doing things to their account via the back end of Amazon, or calling them and sort of making threats to them. So that's what I think surprises the successful Amazon sellers the most, is how harsh competition can be once you get really successful on there. We had a client who's got a product that does about $1 million. Just that one product does about $1 million a year for them. And what they forgot to do is register their trademark for the brand that the product is under. So what happened is a competitor comes in and sees that, hey, this trademark is available. No one filed it with the USPTO, so they go ahead and file it. And a few months later, they start filing trademark infringement reports against our own client. And now our client has the product down. It's no longer generating revenue. So tries to talk to Amazon and says, I've got the trademark. I was the first one. They're like, well, according to the USPTO, like there's only one person that has it. So it comes to us in a frenzy. What do we do? What do we do? I was like, all right, number one, you do need to get your trademark. So let's get that filed today. So we go ahead and get that filed. We go ahead and file a cancellation proceeding against the other trademark. Cancellation proceeding is where you sort of make that trademark invalid. And as soon as we file our cancellation proceeding to cancel the other trademark, we go ahead and get that letter, get that document over to Amazon's attorneys and say, hey, there is an issue here, but we believe that this is what it is, that our client does have superior rights, and this is what we filed. While this is going to take a while for it to resolve, it'd be great if you could go ahead and get us reinstated. And we were able to get that reinstated while we went ahead and proceeded with that sort of mini litigation for that trademark, whether that trademark lives or dies. And earlier today, we just received a response that we prevailed, we won, and that other trademark is going to be canceled. However, if we were to wait until we got this decision, mine would have been probably having to wait 6 to 7 months until that happened. So being able to know that you could run sort of two simultaneous tracks at the same time, one with USPTO, one dealing with Amazon, really helps. And at the end of the day, our clients' goals are, let's make sure my product is up and running and generating revenue. And that's what we were able to do. So we had a client come to us and say, my account's down, and this is a large seller who's selling on multiple Amazon marketplaces, has their own website and so forth. And they've got their account suspended, and it's been about 5 or 6 years that it's been suspended. They've tried consultants, countless number of them. They've tried a few attorneys. None of it worked. They essentially said, just forget about it. And we were helping them with a completely unrelated case. And out of the blue, he says, Mario, we do have this account and we think it's dead, but wanted to get your thoughts. And at the time, I was like, this is a pretty old suspension, 5, 6 years, right? It's like, I'm willing to try. Let's see what happens. And I know the exact route that we would take. Let's not even deal with Amazon's internal teams. Let's take this through to Amazon's outside legal counsel because I know they're going to look at it and I know we're going to get a response. Within about 5 or 6 months, we got that account reinstated. The client's like, how were we able to do this? I was like, the recipe for a successful account reinstatement, really involves two things. The first ingredient is a great appeal, right, with the right documents that Amazon needs. But number two is getting it to the right person or department. And that's what we were able to do with that case. So everyone's happy, clients reinstated, and back to work. I think with clients, the number one thing that they want to know is there a solution and what is it going to take? I feel like as long as they have a clear understanding of what are the next steps and who's going to do it, they feel a lot better. One of the things that I want to share throughout these videos is, number one, sharing more war stories with you guys, because I think once you guys hear them, you guys will maybe sort of remember them. That'll help you guys whenever you guys encounter a similar situation to remember that there is a path forward, there is a solution. So that's number one. Number two, it's also helping you guys understand the policies in Amazon's agreement. Amazon may be $1 trillion or now $2 trillion company. It doesn't mean that they get to do everything that they want and you're some sort of small seller that could be kicked around and thrown around. That's not the case at all. So those are two things that I'm hoping to share with you guys. Everything that we discuss here and all the stories I tell and all the advice, don't take it as legal advice. I'm not your attorney and you've never hired us or paid us. So don't take any action or inaction based on what we say. Again, if you need to talk to us, more than willing to talk, but This is not legal advice. The services we offer are based on the feedback that we get from our clients and also the Amazon seller community. As we go through these videos, what I really want to share are maybe some of the new services or how we could use our services for new objectives. I think that'll be great for me to share with you guys. And number two, the space is always evolving. Right now, most of the sales for most sellers are coming from Amazon, but we're also seeing Walmart.com increase their presence day over day, month over month. So maybe even sharing some policies and war stories that we've encountered with Walmart.com and how the platforms may be similar and how they're different. But those are things that I want to share with you guys, including brand registry and brand enforcement tactics that we use.